What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another player rating show, and it's that time of the month, at the end of the month, where we do our player performance tier list, and could be a bit of a sight for sore eyes today, to be honest. This month we've played 3 games, we've lost 3 games, and yeah, every other month everyone's been in like the upper echelons of the tier list. Not sure if it's going to be the same today.
Well, the results haven't been great this month, but although the performances of some players haven't been that bad, so maybe we're getting too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, it won't be as nice as the other months have been, I don't think.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the way it works. If you haven't played enough minutes, you go into can't judge. 0 to 4.9 goes into awful. 5 to 5.4 goes into not good. 5.5 to 6.4 goes into okay. 6.5 to 6.9 goes into good. 7 to 7.5 goes into very good. 7.5 to 10 goes into excellent. And then a new segment that we're actually adding in this show, the best rated player will go into player of the month as well. So let's get into it. Let's start off with Fraser Forster. And obviously he goes into can't judge because he hasn't played a minute.
Correct. He was on the bench every game, but can't judge him.
Next up is Cuti Romero. Only one game played in the Chelsea game. He gets sent off and
had a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, I think he goes straight into awful, to be honest.
This
is probably the lowest rating we've ever given anyone.
I don't think it's possible to get lower than this. It's a 1.
Yeah, that is.
We gave him a 1, so he's had an awful month. One game, it wasn't just the red card as well. He just had a terrible game in those first 20 minutes or so against Chelsea. So not a good month for Romero, and he kind of cost us in the other games as well. Yeah. We probably don't lose the other games if he's fit. So yeah, really cost us.
Shocking, unfortunately, after getting nominated Player of the Month.
Yep.
He goes into awful. Anyway, next up, we've got Ashley Phillips. Obviously, he goes into can't judge. Has been on the bench, but he's injured now as well. Hasn't played a minute, so he goes into can't judge. Next up is Ben Davis. He's been playing, actually. So where does he rank? I reckon he goes into like okay.
6.3.
6.3. Yeah, just about okay.
Just about okay.
On the borderline of okay and good.
Yeah, had a good game against Wolves. We both gave him strong showings. But against Villa, we both gave him 5s. So, only okay.
Next up is Rodrigo Bentancur. 2 cameo appearances, 1 start. In the start, he had to go off early because of the injury. I mean, with the cameos he has had, and with the rate, I know we both gave him an 8 for the start that he did have for the opening half an hour. So I imagine he's going to go into very good.
7.2. Yeah. So it does go into very good. Obviously, really strong showing against Villa before he went off injured. A little cameo against Wolves where he was decent. We improved when he came on. And against Chelsea, obviously we're down to 9 men, but also nearly scored and had a good cameo there. So a good month, but again, a shame he's injured.
Next up is Oliver Skip. He did come on the last game. Has he had any He came on against Wolves as well.
We gave him 2 ratings. So
what games was
against Chelsea and Villa.
Oh, Chelsea and Villa.
Against
goes
Chelsea,
into okay or not good.
Against Chelsea, you gave him an 8, actually. But
8?
Yeah, it says here. Yeah. Unless that was a typo. But
it's got to be a typo. I don't remember giving him an 8.
Yeah, so I went through the ratings. You gave him an 8. Anyway, overall, 6.3.
6.3.
6.3
goes into okay.
Goes into okay. A couple of cameos.
Did I actually give him an 8?
Yeah.
That can't be right, surely.
I think you accidentally sent me an 8. I remember you going on your computer and saying, "Oh, I did actually send it to you, but I didn't mean to."
Maybe it was a reverse. I don't know. But anyway, 6.3 is the overall.
He should be lower because I never gave him an 8.
So maybe he should be a not good. But yeah, I don't think he's really shown that much in the cameos.
Put him in not good. Put Ollie Skip in not good because I don't think he has been good in his cameos, to be honest.
Hasn't really done much.
Yeah. Next up is Manor Solomon. Can't judge. He's been injured throughout the whole month. After that is Ryan Sessegnon again. Can't judge. He hasn't played. Hugo Lloris again. Can't judge. Ivan Perisic. Can't judge. Yves Bissouma.
Yves Bissouma, indeed.
He's probably going to go into not good, I imagine.
5.5.
Or just about sneaks into okay.
Just about. Because you gave him an 8 against Chelsea, Bissouma. He had, and then
8
against
Chelsea.
Wolves, we both gave him 4s. I gave him a 6 against Chelsea. You gave him an 8, and obviously he's been suspended for Villa.
I remember. I actually did give him an 8 with this one.
So he just about sneaks in a 5.5. Just about avoids a not good Basuma.
Well, I'm happy I'm the guy who saved him.
You saved him, yeah.
Next up is Mickey van der Ven. He hasn't played this month, has he?
One game against Chelsea, which was
20
obviously 20 minutes. Yeah, which he was played well, but yeah, that was it.
Was
And
he
obviously
going
been
into
injured.
okay?
He got a 7, so it does technically it's a 7 out of 10. But I don't know if maybe it was only 20 minutes. I don't know if you put him in can't judge
Yeah,
or you
put him in can't judge, I think. Next up is Eric Dyer. Started against Wolves. Came on against Chelsea. Actually got a good rating against Chelsea. Not such a good rating against Wolves. So I imagine he goes into okay.
6.5.
Oh, he goes into good.
6.5.
No way does Eric Dyer go into good.
Again, you gave him an 8 against Chelsea, a 5 against Wolves. I gave him a 6 against Wolves, but only a 7 against Chelsea. Obviously, he didn't play against Villa.
I think bump him down to okay. To be honest.
I don't think he's been good. I think probably okay is probably more worthy.
Next up, Alejo Veliz. I'm guessing can't judge for that one.
No ratings.
After that is Emerson Royale. He started against Wolves, which I thought he was horrible in that game, to be honest. He has had a few cameos since then. I would say he goes into okay.
5.8.
5.8.
Yeah, 3 ratings.
Okay.
Goes into okay. Got, again, a good rating against Chelsea, but then we both gave him 5s against Wolves and Villa. So the Chelsea performance saves him from a not good.
Fair enough. Next up is Vicario. He's got to be one of the better ones this month, and I would say he goes into very good.
7.5. So sneaks into excellent, I think.
Yeah, that is excellent.
Sneaks into excellent.
Wow.
And I believe he's our player of the month, I believe.
He's our player of the month.
He would be in the top tier.
Spoilers.
7.
Spoilers.
Should I have waited? All right, next time we'll wait. 7.5 though. So he was our best player.
When I was thinking about this before coming on air, I was thinking it was a toss up between him and Pedro Porro, who was going to be our player of the month.
Obviously, we both gave him 9s against Chelsea. Marvelous performance against Wolves. You gave him a 6. I gave him a 7. Decent game against Wolves. And against Villa, you gave him an 8, and I gave him a 6. So that bumped him to a 7.5. Basically, the Chelsea performance overall was probably our best performance of the month out of anyone. I can't think of anyone who played better.
Yeah. Only Pedro Porro comes close to me for probably. But anyway, next up is Brian Hill. Got his first start of the season against Aston Villa. Was fairly good in the first half, not so great in the second half. I think we gave him a 6 combined. So he also
got rated against Wolves. Both gave him 5. So actually overall 5.5.
Oh, just about okay.
Just about, yeah. Wolves, he didn't really do anything. Villa, he was decent, to be fair, but then he kind of burnt out pretty quickly in that second half. So, yeah.
Richarlison, can't judge.
Yeah.
Don't think he's played a minute.
Hasn't played, been injured.
After that is James Maddison. Again, can't judge.
Yeah, he played half an hour against Chelsea. We both gave him a 6 for that, but yeah, can't really judge him.
Yeah.
Because he got injured.
So, I mean, everyone's going and can't judge.
Yeah,
It just shows how many injuries we have. Next up is Heung-min Son. Hasn't actually scored this month. I would say that he probably goes into good, or maybe the lowers are very good.
Overall, it's a 6 out of 10.
6?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yes. So, yeah, okay. Obviously, I gave him a 7 against Villa. You gave him a 6. Again, you gave him an 8 against Chelsea. You gave him a lot of big ratings for that game. I gave him a 6, and then we both gave him low ratings for the Wolves game, 4 and a 5. So, just about 6 and okay for Sonny, but didn't score.
Shame he hasn't scored this month. Next up, Dejan Kulusevski. I mean, he's probably been on the better side of things. I would say he goes into good.
7 out of 10.
Okay, very good.
7
it's good
out
for
of 10.
Decky. I think he had a really strong showing in the last game, particularly.
Yeah.
I gave him a 9.
You gave him a 9, I gave him an 8. Against Wolves, you gave him a 6, I gave him a 5. And against Chelsea, we both gave him 7. So a pretty decent month for Kulusevski.
Next up is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He's been filling in midfield. Didn't start in the last game. I would say he probably goes into okay.
6.3.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
6.4 is the threshold for that. So Højbjerg, okay. I mean, look at this. If you just look at this tier list, it's so bottom heavy.
Yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, he gets a lot of marks because he played really well at centre back against Chelsea, but really poor against Wolves, and but pretty decent against Villa. So gets into okay.
Next up is Brennan Johnson. He started every game, hasn't he, this month?
He has.
Not Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea he started.
Yeah.
He started every game this month. Yeah, so I would say he goes into good.
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been higher. You gave him a 5 against Wolves, but the other games have been 7s. 7 against Chelsea and a 7 against Villa.
I think that's right. I think he's looked bright, to be honest, in every game.
I think so.
Even in the beginning of that Chelsea game, he was proper attacking down that side and he was looking really sharp. So I'm liking Brennan, but I think he needs to be able to last longer in games too. That's my main criticism of him.
What I like about him is he's always seems to be very involved in a lot of the attacks that we do. He doesn't seem to hide away. He seems to be there to show for the ball all the time and getting chances. So I'm sure the goal contributions will come.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is Giovanni Lo Celso. Started his first game of the season. Really strong showing. So surely he goes into excellent then on the back of that.
7.3. Obviously, he came on against Wolves. We both gave him a rating. I actually gave him a 7. You gave him a 6. But we both gave him 8s against Villa. So goes into very good because of that 6 out of 10 against Wolves.
Okay. Next up is Pedro Porro. I'm hoping he goes into excellent.
7.3 as well.
Oh,
just misses out because I gave him a 6 against Chelsea.
What did I give him?
You gave him an 8.
I gave everyone 8s against
8,
Chelsea.
7, a 7 against Wolves, and an 8 against Villa. Where he was really good. I gave him a 6 against Chelsea, 7 against Wolves, and 8. So my 6 out of 10 against Chelsea costs him an excellence.
Pedro Porro dirty.
Sorry, Pedro. But look, very good. Still a very good month.
Papi Matasar up next. How many games has he played this month?
2. Played 2. Wolves and Chelsea.
He goes into good.
6.5.
Yeah.
Decent month for him. Didn't have the best game against Wolves. Both gave him 6, but 7 out of 10 against Chelsea.
Yeah. Next up is Destiny Udogie, and he will be our last player. Had a really strong showing in the last game against Aston Villa, in my opinion. Has been injured. I think, was that his only game this month, Destiny?
Nope.
They played against Chelsea.
Got sent off against Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. So he's going to go into not good, isn't he?
4.8.
4.8. Wow, awful.
Because both gave him 7s, but you gave him a 2 and I gave him a 3 against Chelsea. That averages out to a very poor month for him, actually. Obviously missed the Wolves game through suspension as well, which was costly because we definitely missed his presence in that game. So a 7 out of 10 against Villa isn't enough to save him, apparently. Bit harsh, but was very bad against Chelsea.
I don't think it is harsh, to be honest, because he was so stupid to get sent off like that against Chelsea. He really was.
Could have got sent off
down
before
to 10
as well.
men as well. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, let's finish off talking about Big Ange Postecoglou. I'm going to say, even though we've lost 3 games, I still think we've rated him fairly highly. So I think probably good.
6.2.
Ooh, okay.
Only okay. Rated him... Well, you gave him a 6 against Chelsea, a 5 against Wolves, and a 7 against Villa. I gave him a 7 against Chelsea, a 5 against Wolves, and a 7 against Villa.
All right.
So, yeah. So, not the best ratings for Ange's month. We had... interesting, you gave the players a very high rating for the Chelsea game, but the manager not so high.
Yeah, I think my feeling at the end of that Chelsea game was just proud of the effort that those players put in. And I think that's why I rated them so high, because... Yes, it was down to Ange's tactics as well, but I do feel like on another day, Ange's tactics against a better team that day, we would have lost, we could have conceded 9 goals, literally.
Yeah.
But I do think the players put in an unbelievable effort that day. So I think that's why I rated them high.
Okay.
But let's run through that tier. I'm going to struggle to see it from here, but let's give it a go. In Can't Judge, you've got Fraser Forster, Ashley Phillips, Solomon,
Sessegnon,
Lloris,
Perisic, Van de Ven,
you got better eyes than me, you go for it.
Valise, Richarlison, and Madison. So then awful, Romero and Udogie. Not good is Davis. Okay is no, isn't that Davis? You got Basuma, Dyer, Emerson, Gil, Son, Højbjerg, and Ange.
So who's that in not good?
or Skip?
Oh,
Skip.
Skip's in not good.
Okay.
In good, you have
Brennan.
Brennan Johnson and not Sarr. Is it Sarr? Yeah, it's Sarr in good. And then excellent, very good, sorry. You got Bentancur, Kulusevski, Porro, and Lo Celso. And player of the month this month is Vicario. So well
Big
done,
up, Big
Vic. 7.5. He gets our player of the month. Wonder if the fans at home agree.
Yeah, so let us know in the comment section below. Who was your player of the month? Do you agree with us that it should be Big Vicario? Look, this time next month, we'll be doing a much better tier list. I guarantee you that.
No, you better hope there'll be 7 games to judge.
Yeah,
next month.
Much bigger sample size than every other month. But look, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding that tier list. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.